like 5 per day, so like
What?
like it can be rubbish, but
Yeah. It's worth it at the end.
Everyone's got to do it.
Hi guys, I'm here with Becky. She's a beauty journalist and we'll be going through a lot of your questions that you've sent over on Instagram. So there's been so many questions asking about my job and I wanted to bring somebody else in the beauty industry. I wanted to bring Becky to talk about the journalist side of the beauty industry. So we communicate together, we kind of work together in a way. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Becky Fern. I have been a beauty journalist for about 5 years. I started out at Glamour and I was digital beauty writer, and then since then I worked in the editorial team at Space NK, and then now I'm a freelancer, so I'm a freelance beauty journalist.
Basically everybody who you read. So she's your girl. You're reading pretty much all her work. So I have loads of questions. I think I got around 300 questions.
Oh wow.
I know. So there was a lot of questions about industry in general and like how to get into industry, how to intern. So we're going to kind of go through everything that's been asked. I think I have around 10 questions. So let's start and let's go into it. So the first question is, how did you get into the industry and what did you study at the university? So should I go first?
Mm-hmm.
So I studied fashion promotion. I went to a university called Ravensbourne. It's a very kind of digital university, and I did fashion promotion was a really weird subject for me. I didn't really get it because there was so many different things that went into it. So I did graphics, I did editorial, I did kind of more communication side of it, more business side. So from then I found that I wanted to do something businessy but still working in this kind of communications. My first internship was the fashion internship, which I did I think in my second year of university, and since then I haven't stopped interning.
Where did you do it?
White Hair. So it was an agency, which I kind of went from agency to the agency, and now I'm in-house. So yeah, like how did I get into the industry was interning. So I interned back to back. I think I did 4 internships in the agency. So I started in fashion, then I went into beauty, which I found for me worked better and I was more interested in it. Nowadays, agencies pay for interns, and if it's like a longer internship, you have to get paid at least minimum wage.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah.
How did you get into the industry and what did you study?
Well, I went to the University of Nottingham and I didn't really do anything like specifically, I didn't do a journalism degree, I didn't do anything in beauty or fashion, but I did joint honours, so half English and half American politics and history.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just always loved writing, and so when I came out of uni I knew that I wanted to start interning, get as much experience as I can, which is just so invaluable if that's what you want to do.
What's your first internship?
Sunday Times Style. Yeah.
That is a good one to start with.
And it was because like it is, you hear this all the time, but it annoyingly it is a lot of the time about who you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I got into that first internship was my ex-boyfriend's cousin was a graphic designer for Sunday Times Style. So she really kindly hooked me up, got me, I started out in fashion as well. So I did a week in the fashion cupboard and then a week with the features team.
What is a fashion cupboard?
It's basically where all the clothes and the accessories and everything for the shoots are kept, and if you're a fashion intern, you're in charge of calling things in, sending things back, just basically managing all the amazing clothes that they have for the shoots. Made my way round, because Sunday Times Style is obviously the Times, so I made my way around. The next one I did was on the fashion desk at the Times, and then I did one on the Times magazine, the supplement. So I just kind of made my way around, and when I was there I just made sure to really just talk to as many people as I could.
So what is the least exciting part of your job? It's the admin and like the reporting, so it's not really exciting, it's very much numbers, and you're kind of trying to, so what this means, what admin for PR means, you get your coverage. So every time you have a coverage in a magazine, you have to scan it, you have to file it, you need to put it in a certain database, name it, blah, blah, blah. Then you have a month's coverage, and then you put in a report, you put a circulation in, you put the date when it was published. I know. So it's like a huge kind of report where you're going to give it to your client. So I would say that's probably my least favorite part of it, because it's very kind of tedious and there's so much kind of admin to it. But everything else is very kind of creative. So yeah, I think the admin part of my job is the least exciting, and that doesn't spark joy. It is essentially kind of showing to your client what you've done that month and what kind of results you've been, driving, who you've been talking to. So it's kind of a nice overview for your clients to see what you've been doing that month. What about you?
I would say for my job, it's probably different when you're freelance and on staff. So when I was at Glamour, probably the least exciting part was just making sure everything was like super SEO friendly. So
What is that?
So SEO is search engine optimization. It basically means any feature or article that you write needs to have very like Google friendly language and terms, so that it ranks as high up in Google search as possible, so that you can get as many hits as possible. That is interesting as well, because when you find out about the science behind it, it is super interesting.
Yeah.
Now that I'm freelance, it's probably
Invoicing,
like just doing my tax return and stuff like that. A ball ache. But also I was gonna say, like, I work from home quite a lot, and I do and like in the beginning I loved working from home. Like, it does get a bit old after a while, and you do kind of just miss, like, I miss so much like being in an office a lot of times. That's why I try and make sure that I go out and like shift and do desk covers in offices, so that I actually get to be like social and see people and like work as a team.
Okay, so the next question is, how do I get an internship? I think it's the same really with us.
Yeah, there's no real, there's no quick like journey to get an amazing internship. Be as persistent as you can, make as many contacts as you can. If you get invited to any kind of like events or like social things, like, always just go.
Even if it's through your friend. Take the advantage of being at the party and having the people from the industry in that one space.
And just like get yourself out there, because really, if I hadn't have kind of got myself out there when I was interning and just spoke to everyone and like asked questions and asked for the opportunities, I probably wouldn't have got them.
Definitely. I think
just stay in touch with people.
Definitely, but I think to get it, first, have a list of your favorite kind of magazines, have a list of your favorite PR agencies or the clients that you want to work for, and set yourself a goal to reach out to them at least once a week. And it is being persistent, and it is to have a good portfolio. So for me is essentially like what contacts you have, but like for your first internship you don't have any contacts.
That's why it's so hard, because it's like, it's such a catch-22, because
definitely
the more experience you have, the more you can say, oh, I've worked for this magazine or this PR agency, and then people will be impressed and like take you on because you have experience. But you have to get started somewhere. So I think it is just about contacts and being persistent, but it's also just about working like really hard. Luckily, more and more places are realizing that they need to pay their interns, which is fair and what should be happening. You still need to be prepared to kind of like really like scrimp and save, and maybe, like stay on someone's sofa for a couple of weeks, like if you don't live in London, to work for free. Like, it can be rubbish, but
it's worth it.
Everyone's got to do it. And if you look at like your favourite like beauty editors, beauty directors, fashion directors, everyone would have started in that same position.
Definitely. And I also get a question about university, whether it is important to have a degree. I think in my job it helps, because it kind of directs you to the right people, and it does give you a skill that sometimes you don't think you'd need. Like for me, it was graphic design, and for I think the first 3 jobs I've had, I was doing a lot of graphics. Press releases are a main thing for PR, and to make you look pretty. And if a graphic designer isn't available to do it for you, if it's like a really short deadline, I would do it myself, and it's a really great skill to give.
Yeah, my degree technically has not really anything to do with what I'm doing now, but it taught me so many life skills that are transferable to when you actually come into the workplace, whatever you're doing.
Definitely.
So I think, it is definitely like valuable to have a degree.
A lot of universities tell you to do internships, and in my case, I had, I think, 3 months where I had to secure an internship and kind of work within an industry, and it already gave you an opportunity to have a contact and to have your first internship. And if you are not studying, it will be a little bit harder, because you don't have this kind of background to say to your employer, to say, I'm studying promotion or studying journalism, I'm studying whatever, and that already gives you a step ahead from a person who doesn't have a degree.
Or if you want to get into journalism, you don't necessarily have to do a journalism degree. Like a lot of my editor friends in the industry don't have journalism degrees, but you need to be able to write, and you do learn a lot of writing practical skills when you're at uni, writing essays. It doesn't matter what subject you're studying, you learn those things kind of along the way. So yeah.
Perfect. Another question, which is a little bit different, and I think it's going to be more aimed at Rebecca. How much stuff do you get gifted?
Definitely got given more when I was at Glamour, just because I was, you know, more like when you're at an established title, you're usually like on everyone's send out list. Just to get kind of like a lot of bags and parcels come down every day.
How
which is
many
like
per week would you say?
Per week, I'd say probably like 5 per day. So like,
what? Journalists don't have really much say to say whether they want to receive it or not. PRs just send it because this is our job.
That's okay with us. Yeah, it's kind of like necessary as well, because I'm not going to recommend a product or write about a product that I haven't tried, because I have a responsibility to recommend things that are actually good, because people are going to part with their money to buy these things. Like, I'm not going to recommend something that I haven't tried and don't think is amazing.
What do you do with the stuff that because you try everything, but sometimes a product doesn't work with you. It's not particularly that it's bad, it's that it just doesn't work with your skin and somebody else will love it. But instead of having it in your cupboard, to just give it away.
Yeah, well, also just down to limited space. Like my flatmate will probably kill me one day, because just the amount of storage I take up. Yeah, I can't keep everything, but I do try as many things as I can. Like when I was at Glamour, it actually wasn't really realistic for me to take home everything, taking everything on the tube every night, and like I just didn't have room for it. But yeah, I try as many things as I can, even if it's just kind of like swatching things when I was like at my desk and everything. And then like quite a lot of it I will keep, because I want to like keep trying it, see how it kind of works over a few weeks, and like I just love products, so a lot of the stuff I do keep. At Glamour and most offices, you'll have a beauty cupboard. We put stuff in the beauty cupboard, and then it's there for, you know, other like features coming up and shoots and stuff. Trying it if you have a feature in the future that it would suit. A lot of magazines do charity sales, so they'll sell like within the magazine or like the wider company, and then all the money goes to charity, which is really nice.
Yeah. What is your favourite thing to receive in a mailer? Like, what is the first thing when you get a bag and you get that certain product? What is it that you're so excited about? I have a feeling it's a candle.
I do love a candle. The brand as well, because there are certain brands that I get like super excited if, now that I'm freelance, it will usually come to my home. If something arrives at my door from a certain brand, I don't care what it is, I just want to rip it open. Fragrances, I'm obsessed with skincare, so anything skincare. But yeah, probably those.
Another question, so kind of going from the worst part of our job, is the best part of our job. What is our best part of our job? I think for me is connecting and kind of finding the new contacts and potentially becoming friends. So me and Becky we were working, we kind of were always in emails before we've met. Yeah, we met when Becky was back in Glamour and she was moving to Space NK. So that was a long time ago actually.
Yeah, that was like the end of 2017.
Actually, since then we became really good friends. We talk every day on the phone, and that's what kind of happens in this industry. You become so close because even though we have 2 different jobs, it feels like the same job because we work together. We're trying to produce this amazing coverage, which, you know, I'm producing the product and the press release and the information, where Becky kind of reviews it and sends it out to the audience, which is essentially a teamwork.
We really work without each other.
Absolutely not.
We have some PRs.
Exactly. So it is a very close relationship with journalists and PRs. So you do automatically become friends with one another. Oh, hello. You can't really see, but he just wants to say hi again. It's the best part about your job.
There are so many really great things about working in beauty and being a journalist. I have to agree with you that like meeting people, like I am not from London, I'm from Reading, so like quite near, but I didn't have like a bunch of friends in London, and I've met most of my friends through the industry.
Yeah.
The main thing like about just journalism as a whole is and beauty really, like I just love being able to kind of like connect with an audience, and like it is quite a like responsibility and power to, you know, recommend like certain products to people and like give like skincare tips and stuff. I've written some features, especially since I've been freelance, that are a lot kind of deeper. Like I wrote a piece for Refinery 29 about how antidepressants have affected my skin, and it's just like, and I know like from messages that I've got back that that's like really helped people.
Yeah,
who
so
are in
it
the
feels
same,
really beneficial.
Yeah, who are in the same position. So it's just nice to be able to like kind of put something out there that can be beneficial for people and like help people. Obviously the last thing that's great about it, which is just really fun, is being able to try new things and you know, being the first to know about products and launches and going to lovely events and stuff, like
which we have to put up, which we have to work for months and months for that one event.
But
so they have amazing fun. Yeah, no, it's definitely worth it.
And again, that comes back round to, you know, the connections you make, because I go to events to not only like, you know, see new stores and like products and everything, I go to like see my friends who are the PRs and like other journalists at events. So it's just really nice to kind of like catch up with people and like stay connected.
You are a very supportive journalist, I would say. I think you have a lot of friends in PRs as well, because you're very kind of supportive. She comes to every single event I throw. So very good journalist friend. So the last question is, what are your tasks on daily and weekly basis? So it'll be different for both of us, which is why I have you. Again, it's really different. So I was in the agency and now I'm in-house. So the very different kind of, there is a completely different flow of how work goes. So with the agency, on a Monday you usually sit down, we have papers, so from the weekend, from all the kind of supplements and any new monthlies that are coming out, you're going through all the magazines to find coverage or trying to see articles which are really interesting. If there's any kind of new journalists on site, a lot of journalists move from publications, so also you have to keep on rotation to know where they are, to kind of like who to speak to. So you have a Monday meeting about the papers, but then you also have in the agency, you have your team meetings when you talk about your clients. Usually in an agency you have around 5 clients, where you talk about the activity, what's going to happen for the week, and then you have your kind of to-do list and your tasks that you have to complete by Friday. Then you have external meetings, so I mean, it is busy, and usually in the agency you'd have around 2 events a week, so it's very fast paced. Yeah, so in-house is a little bit different, so we talk about the launches a little bit further. It's a little bit more whole brand meetings, so we talk about the products that are being developed, so I kind of know what stage they're at the moment and what I should plan for the launch. I'll do the press releases, so for a week's day, let's say we're having a launch coming up really soon. Yeah, I mean, we kind of do a plan for the week and we try to do it the same way. So I'll have a list of things that need to be done. So for example, a press release can take up to, you know, 3 days to get signed off before it goes to print. We do kind of a concept about a creative mailer, which then Rebecca gets, and then she gets the first view on the product, and then we plan an event. It changes every week, but usually, yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
For me, it's super different now that I'm freelance from when I was at magazine, obviously, and I'd say more than ever now, no day is the same, no 2 days are the same.
So how do you organize yourself? Because you are now freelancing, so it's obviously different about glamour, so we're not going to really talk about it because you don't do the office part anymore. So now, how do you organize your work, being freelancing, working for like Marie Claire and Telegraph and Refinery? How do you schedule yourself, and how are you strict with yourself when it comes to it?
Yeah, I'm really strict, and like I've always used a diary, like a paper diary, and just more than ever now I'm like very like, this is what I'm doing every day. Yeah, I do get a bit annoying like with my social plans as well, because I need to like, obviously if I'm going to be in town that day, that is dependent on what I'm doing in the evening. So it's like, yeah, I have to be like very, very organised. I go to as many events as I can, which it's good when you're freelance because you can be a bit more flexible with that. Just go when you want to go when's convenient for you. But yeah, every day is different really.
I think this is it for the video. Thank you so much for sending all of your questions. We love doing them. I think it was really informative, and actually I feel like I've learned something from you. Yeah, like it was really good, informative. But if you have any more questions, please message me or Becky. Her handle is
@BeautyandTheBee.
Beauty and a Bee. I'm gonna link it down below, so give her a follow. I'm sure she's going to answer. She's really friendly, even though she might not look it. I'm joking.
I do have a bit of resting bitch face, but I'm nice, really, I promise.
She is lovely. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my god,
well.
pleasure.
It's really fun.
Yeah, let me know if you like these kind of talk videos with my friends. I'm really happy to bring some more people on the channel to talk about different topics. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!